Hello and welcome to this edition of Age of Truth TV. I'm Lucas Alexander in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's the 1st of May 2014 and we are in Fælledparken, the big park, where thousands of people have gathered on Workers' Day to hear the Danish Prime Minister thorning-schmidt speak to the nation. In just a couple of weeks from now, in May 2014, the annual Bilderberg Group meeting is going to take place here in Copenhagen, and Age of Truth reporter Jeppe Severin has spoken to several people today, also politicians, about what their thoughts are on the Bilderberg Group meeting and what is actually taking place at the meetings. Age of Truth.
Fantastisk land, som vi skal passe på. Krisen har været hård ved Danmark, men vi har sikret, at Danmark er tilbage på sporet. Den laveste arbejdsløshed i 4 år. Økonomien har det bedre end længe. Bedre muligheder for vores børn og unge. Flere nye arbejdspladser. Bedre omsorg for vores ældre, uddannelsesløft til de ufaglærte. Og kære alle jer, der er kommet frem i dag for at høre en Socialdemokraternes formand holde 1. maj-tale. Det er dejligt at se jer alle sammen. Tak fordi I er kommet. Skal I have en god 1. maj.
Jeppe Severin, Age of Truth TV. Okay, hello.
Hello.
And welcome to the Fælledparken today, the 1st of May. And I would like to go straight asking you to why you're here today.
Because I don't trust the Danish government. I don't trust the Danish politicians anymore, so I have no respect left for them. So I'm here to help those guys.
Okay. Have you heard about the Bilderberg Group?
I have.
So you know what it is, sort of?
I know what it is, and I think it's very scary. And I think it's very undemocratic, and it's just I don't understand why do they go to these meetings if so many people are against now, and they know people aren't blind to the things that are happening on the planet. So I don't understand why they go, and why there can be no press at all.
Okay.
And why the Danish Minister of Finances, why does he join them? What's the point? Is he stupid or something? Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the Bilderberg meeting taking place in Denmark this year?
I'm very scared. I can't believe that this is happening in my country, but I guess it's been. I mean, these things like this have happened for so long in human history. So the more I've learned about history and stuff, I'm not surprised actually that it can happen in a country like Denmark. Of course it can. It can happen anywhere, but.
So you'd say that this is more a conspiracy fact rather than a conspiracy...
It's a fact all over. It's I mean, it's just common knowledge now that there's some people controlling the world. They want culture to develop a certain way, and they've been doing this for centuries. So it's obvious now.
What is the Bilderberg Group?
Well, the Bilderberg Group is a de facto world government that runs the show, which is why I think it is such a farce to come here at the Fælledpark here on the 1st of May to see all these people to they stand and they protest. They're going to do a whistling concert when the Prime Minister is going to address the nation or the workers, because they're very unsatisfied with her. They feel that she has broken her promises and her election promises. Of course, this is of no particular significance because it is the Bilderberg Group that decide what is going to happen in Denmark and in all other countries. But in this town, in this country, the Bilderberg Group is particularly relevant now. First of all, because the Bilderberg meeting this year, in the end of May and the 1st of June, is going to take place in Copenhagen. That's the first thing. The second thing is that there are so many more people than just last year who have become aware that there is this thing called the Bilderberg Group.
Hello, sir. I want to go straight forward and ask you, what are your thoughts on the Bilderberg meeting taking place in Denmark this year?
For me, it's not important taking place in Denmark or any other countries. I don't give that much importance to that group or any other, what should we call it, networking that international elites do, that other people do. I don't think it's an international overlord thing. It's a network, and by pointing on those groups, you diverse attention to the globalization of the economy, to the financial corporations who are profiting on people by focusing on some people who meets somewhere, be it Switzerland, be it Denmark, doesn't care, doesn't matter. I don't agree with the people who view the Bilderberg Group or any other small secret societies as being the people who control the world. I think they are misreading the society. They don't analyze capitalism, the political, the economical, the social and cultural struggle between forces, between classes. And that's the important thing, especially on the International Labour Movement Day of 1st of May. We have to be clear what is driving the world. This is about capitalism. This is not about secret societies.
So you want to separate the people behind the capitalism and the capitalism itself?
You can't put it like that. You can change the people in these groups and nothing would change. What point is, capitalism is an economical, political, social and cultural system. That's the system we have to fight. What people do in different groups doesn't matter. It's how we change society, and we don't do it by focusing on little groups.
So you don't think it's of any significance that the people who have been attending these meetings are becoming prime ministers and presidents and stuff like that? It doesn't matter at all?
No.
What are your thoughts on the Bilderberg Group?
Some things remain to be proven regarding the government. We have the proof. So that's a difference there, right?
Proof of what?
Of the betrayal. To tell you the truth, I have done no thoughts about it. So I'd rather not say anything to your camera.
Politicians and people with power are having a lot of secret meetings in the European Union. You don't have you don't know what is going on whenever is it 25 or is it 26 leaders of the European Union are going together. You don't get the essence of what they're talking about anyways. So and you don't always know what the politicians are talking about. So either you say every meeting a politician should have is a semi-public meeting, or there should be a summary or anything, or else you say okay, it's basically it's okay for some level of discretion for the people that we elect.
But this level of discretion is 100%.
Yeah. But the level of discretion for an instance in the European Union or the NATO or the United States or the United Nations or sometimes on the local parliament of Denmark, you don't know why. How did they? You have to dig in terms of why did they take this decision or that decision. So if I trust the politicians because I've elected them, then I should trust them to basically to attend meetings that I'm basically not aware what is the total concept. I think conspiracy theories are always more exciting than reality.
I'm a former city councilman of Copenhagen. My name is Neil Bloom. I served on the committee on employment and integration for 4 years, from 2010 to 2013.
So what are your thoughts about the secret Bilderberg meeting taking place in Denmark this year?
My thoughts on that?
If you have any.
I don't know enough on that to have any thoughts on that.
If I tell you it's some of the most influential rich people from banks and military industry and stuff like that who have these secret meetings with our elected or maybe selected politicians, and you don't think it has any influence on what is going on in the policies?
Well, I believe that, of course, these people at top level will meet. That you can't. Well, that's inevitable that these people will meet and change agendas and whatnot. What we need as normal citizens is transparency. We have to be able to look through that, because we cannot prevent them from meeting, and I don't think otherwise it would be a good idea to prevent these people from meeting, but we have to know what they talk about. We have to know what they discuss as voters.
So you agree it's a problem that the meetings are secret and you can't report from them? It lacks some transparency. You know?
Political leaders should share with their voters what they are discussing in these meetings.
Okay. So how do you think we can make that transparency if they at the same time are allowed to have the secret meetings without transparency?
Well, you can keep on pushing for the agenda, because if we don't push for it, nothing will happen.
And how do you think we can push for transparency then?
Keep getting better and better organized, keep bringing these things up. I think that all the social media and whatnot have given a rise to the public to form their own opinion. I think that's beautiful. I think we'll be seeing a lot of changes in the future. The businessmen on the top, they can't run around and play with us the way they used to do.
So you agree with the so-called conspiracy theories that there could go some agenda on during these meetings that isn't beneficial for the people of Europe and Denmark?
I did not say that. I said that I don't know enough about those meetings to be critical about it, but I believe generally in transparency.
Hello there, sir and miss, and happy 1st of May in Denmark, Copenhagen. I want to straightforward ask you, what are your opinions on the Bilderberg Group?
On the Bilderberg Group?
Yeah, you haven't heard of it?
No.
How about you?
Oh, the Bilderberg beers?
No, the Bilderberg Group. A lot of influential and powerful people in the bank and military industry who are having secret meetings. They have that for about 60 years with the politicians and royalty. Some secret place in the world. There's a little more transparency right now, but you haven't heard of it at all?
Maybe, but it's out of our
reach. Okay. So what do you think about this meeting taking place in Denmark this year? And you haven't heard of it?
No. We are musicians. Our ears are not so good.
Oh, so that's why I haven't heard of it, because you're musicians.
No, not really, but
we are half there.
No, I haven't heard about this meeting. When is it? You know about the Rothschild Bank and the Rockefellers and Henry Kissinger and
yes.
Yeah, no, that's basically the Bilderberg Group. They're coming to Denmark this year to have their secret meeting, which they have been having since the 50s.
Well, it doesn't sound very good. I mean, Denmark is giving room for that.
So what do you think about the Bilderberg Group having their secret meeting this year?
I don't like when all these rich people get together and plan how all other people shall live their life, so they can have all their money and all their interest the best way. So I don't like it.
You disagree. You definitely think that they're sort of conspiring about the policies.
I maybe don't think they. Everyone in there believe they are conspiring. Maybe there are also many naive people just believing what they are told, you know. So they just go along because they believe what they're told.
But what do you think about the secrecy and the lack of transparency that's going on in there?
Oh, I don't like that very much, because I believe we're living in a big world, and if we go, everybody has secrets and telling lies, then nobody will trust each other in the end, and everybody will be suspicious to each other. So I believe the truth out, and everyone will know what to think and how to react.
So do you think there's more or less a threat towards democracy from these powerful people?
Very much.
You know, there's this particular thing that I'm very preoccupied about, which is Google Trends. You can actually use Google as a search engine to what people actually search for on Google globally. And if you search for the word Bilderberg Group, you can find out that a year ago, or almost a year ago, when there was the Bilderberg Group meeting in Watford, England, the search volume just peaked. It just went to the roof, which is more searches for the words Bilderberg Group than there had ever been at any time before. And the change has been from from the Bilderberg Group being something that only the alternative media would ever dare to talk about, to something that a lot of actually mainstream papers in particularly England and the United States began to write about. And that provided the biggest tangible change.
My name is Jens Mandrup, and I'm sitting in the regional council here in the capital region.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the whistleblowing, on the many people who has been whistling today during Helle Thorning-Schmidt's speech?
I have to say that I don't think it's a really good idea. You have to be able to listen to what people say. Don't just yell and make sounds. Give the freedom for people to say what they want. And then if you want to make a demonstration, sure, do that. But don't limit other people's right to say something.
What are your thoughts on the Bilderberg Group having their meeting this year in Denmark?
I don't really know. It's for me, it seems like being a bunch of people that just meet and talk. They're very rich, many of them, but how much and what they're doing, I really don't know much about it. I think it's sort of silly.
So you think it's just silly and of no significance that the people who were later becoming presidents and prime ministers has been attending these meetings?
Well, of course they know each other and they talk to each other. I don't know how much significance it has, to be honest.
You don't think it's a problem with the lack of transparency when it's actually the richest, most powerful, influential people who gain and benefit on whatever wars go on or energy programs or whatever, it's a left or right wing in the government of the European countries and stuff? You don't think there's no problem there?
I like transparency, so in that way, of course, I think it's good that they have been a bit more open about what they're discussing and what's going on. I don't like this, old men's club just meeting, even though I know some women also, but it's mainly old men meeting. I prefer that it's a bit like all those, lodges like Oddfellow and stuff like that. It's like, what's going on? Who are these people? Transparency is a really good thing, and of course, Bilderberg should have more transparency. I think that would be healthy and sort of undramatize what's going on. I've never been to anything of that kind. I just think it's healthy that you're open about what's going on. It's not good to be secret about what you're doing. Just say what's going on and say we're a bunch of people talking, and then everybody can say, well, good idea, bad idea, get a good idea what's going on instead of building any conspiracy theories about it.
So you're satisfied with the transparency there is right now in the media, the opening?
I think it would be healthy if they have even more transparency. I think it's a good idea. Just to dramatize it. Don't be so secret. It's not a good idea.
Oh, the Bilderberg Group. Oh, I know about that. I heard about it. It's where's holding the meeting this year? Where? Have you the information?
They're having their meeting this year in Denmark.
In Denmark? Serious?
Exactly.
Okay. But I have heard about it. And then what was the question?
What are your thoughts of it? What do you think goes on at the secret?
Man, it's fucking bad.
It's Batman.
No, it's the problem is that there's no journalist into the meeting. Nobody knows what is meeting going on. We only have thought about what the meeting about. But it's stupid, and it's a hide people status. So what's going on, man? And so we have a lot of questions about that. Yeah.
You have been fighting a lot of super scoundrels during your career. What do you think about the real power scoundrels? You think you're ever going to fight?
We need to go on the top to change the world, and it's kind of people to Bilderberg. We need to kill to change things, because I think they rule a lot of things in the world.
Right. So you think actually that the Bilderberg people, the Henry Kissinger and the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers and stuff like that might could be even more dangerous than Dr. Octopus and Dr. Doom and Venom and scoundrels like that?
Yeah, it's people like that, but we cannot be sure but we think about it. And I think we need more about it. It's because it's important for us what happened to Bilderberg meetings.
So you're ready to ask more questions and maybe fight them someday? So you're ready to fight them someday?
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. And I think about the whole meeting in Denmark to show up and show what I mean. So yeah, let's do it.
In the beginning of 2011, we through different meetings and talking to different organizations, we found out that we had a need for a whistleblower function in the municipality of Copenhagen, since it's the largest employer in all of Denmark. And what we pushed and finally we got the whistleblower function voted through the system. So now we actually have the first one where you can, as an anonymous person, blow the whistle on inappropriate things that are happening in your workplace. And it has been used very often, and I must say some of the things I'm most proud of during the time I served, because we believe in this transparency and we believe that all will gain from knowledge.
So it actually works?
It works.
Right.
If there's something dirt hidden underneath, it's beneficial for every one of us to know about it, so we can move on.
The Bilderbergs want to have control with the people, with their governments, and by inviting our politicians and greasing them down, they can control the whole society in a wider perspective. I think it's very bad. I think people have to awake now, because before it's too late. They have enormous control in the way we think, in the way the way our culture, in a lot of ways. It's very, very important to wake up now. Please, people.
In taking part of wars, we've been more active the last 10 years than we've been beforehand. But in terms of general income and general health and general welfare, we've been going forth in the last 40 years. But of course there are things that are not okay. Of course it's not okay that the public, or not the public, the state surveillance of people in overall is so secret, because what do they do with all these informations, and why do they surveillance everyone? Because the excuse is that the terrorism and why and the notion that's a criminal or some kind of terrorist should be lurking amongst us, and that is of course basically not okay. That is not the reason why I don't trust the politicians, or because I think that if you give some power to some people, you have to trust them at some level, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they can just go ahead and just do whatever they want. And at the moment there is some points where the state goes a bit too much towards the dark side or the secret side. I do not believe that this Bilderberg meeting is like a 1984 Orwell kind of surveillance society. But of course, people with power would always have secret meetings, and that's just how the world is, basically.
I think that a lot of people, especially the really naive ones, think that, well, all these powerful people are meeting once a year to discuss the state of the world and current events. So what's wrong with that? Well, I'll tell you what's wrong with that. They do it in secrecy. Well, they have been trying to do it in secrecy so far, and it's not so secret any longer. Well, the location of it is not secret. The fact that there even is a Bilderberg Group is not secret. What, of course, is still secret is the content of the meeting, what they're actually talking about. But people need to understand that this is going on for our tax money. Taxpayers' money are paying for this. And it is very, very suspicious in the eyes of the mainstream, or at least it should be, that the politicians are talking about transparency. Well, when actually they are introducing legislations and law that prohibits us from finding out or knowing what it is that they are doing with our tax money. That is not transparency at all. But on the other hand, they have transparency the other way. They are allowed to know what we are doing online, on the internet. They're allowed to know what we're doing in public spaces. They're allowed to know our bank accounts and all of that. You know, so all of that is public to them, while we are not supposed to know what they're doing. And even with the law as support, because they introduce all these laws that prohibit us from knowing what is actually going on. So that's what's wrong with it. I do not think that is speculation at all, and I believe that any investigative journalists that look into this will find out very, very quickly that this is much bigger than what it seems to be. What is really, really important for me to underline in this matter is that it does not matter what you vote for. It does not matter what you vote for, because whoever's going to be prime minister or president of whatever country, that is decided in the Bilderberg meetings. So magically, somehow out of the blue, this presidential candidate or prime minister candidate comes in saying, we're going to introduce this and that and change here and hope this and hope that, you know, like Obama, and now here in Denmark we have thorning-schmidt. And they have been chosen, they have been selected by the Bilderberg Group to be in the position that they are. They are not elected, they are selected by the real people in power, which are probably not even the Bilderberg Group, but the people above the Bilderberg Group. Well, I do not have any evidence. What I do is I listen to investigative journalists, and by God, there is a whole lot of them by now, which is good news. And that is what I feel and think that everybody has the duty to do, actually, because we live in such a world right now, and will be living in such a world increasingly, where we need to take business in our own hands, to find out what's going on, and especially to act out of it. My opinion is we live in an information age. All information from investigative journalists and independent researchers, all that information is available on a vast and unlimited internet. That means if people choose to not know what the Bilderberg Group is and a lot of other things, but today we're here to discuss the Bilderberg Group, obviously, because of the politics. If you don't know any of these things, well, that's actually a choice. And my opinion is there's no real excuse for that, especially when taking into account the direction that the world is going. You can't just say, well, I didn't know because I trusted television or I trusted newspapers or anything like that, because all information is actually available. Of course, that is something that we need to
Thank you very much for watching this edition of Age of Truth TV. I am Jeppe Severin, Copenhagen.
Age of Truth.